You're watching Skywatch Media News for the third week of April 2019. Here's what's happening. If you've been following the devastating news out of Europe in recent days, you most likely have shared in the anguish and the despair that are reflective of the emotions of many Europeans and people of faith across the globe. There is a growing consensus that we are now living in a time of unprecedented turmoil and chaos, what many refer to as the troubled times. We are now seeing this played out in real time for all the world to witness, and yet there are some who do not fully understand or grasp the reality of the events that are unfolding before them. After the tragic attack on the Twin Towers in New York City on September the 11th of 2001, there was a powerful yearning to better understand what happened and why. Had there been any forewarning that this event would occur? Out of great curiosity, people began turning to the teachings of prophecy for explanations, and specifically to the visions of one individual who even to this day is revered as a prophet. The French astrologer and physician Michel Nostradamus, known by millions as Nostradamus, is among the most famous seer in all of history. Many believe that his writings, known as quatrains, hold the key to understanding the greatest events of our future. They argue that his writings foretold of the rise of Napoleon and Hitler, the death of King Henry II, the assassination of JFK, and the toppling of the World Trade Center. His writings were worded in such a way that enables its readers to interpret the wording by means of expectations, brought on by a self-awareness of religious prophecies that strike at immediate days. Ironically, in almost every situation in which a catastrophe of monumental proportions has occurred, people have turned to the writings of Nostradamus for answers. Moments after a fire ravaged the Cathedral of Notre Damn in Paris, speculation began to emerge that this event was also foreseen by the world's most famous prognosticator. In fact, astrologers stated that the April 15th fire of Notre Dame was predicted hundreds of years ago, and it is written in the Nostradamus Book of Prophecies. According to interpretation, a translated version of the quatrain, taken from the 1999 book The Complete Prophecies of Nostradamus, provides reference to the recent event in Paris. It is possible that Nostradamus, who foresaw the Great Fire of London in the 17th century, also foresaw the horrific sight of the Notre Dame Inferno, still standing in the forefront of a glaring sun, engulfed in orange flames. We should be leery of the use of prophetic interpretation as a self-fulfilling motive to inflame the emotions of individuals every time an eventful occurrence takes place. But open-mindedness can be a meaningful tool in deciphering the writings of prophets when it is done prior to the event rather than after the fact. Therefore, in a time of trouble, there may be clues and signs which point to future events as a means of awakening people's emotions. It is possible that Nostradamus predicted the Notre Dame fire using vaguely worded phrases as well as astrological signs and the placement of planets. There may be clues that provide some answers to his vision. The sounds of the emotions of a nation as the Notre Dame Cathedral was burning strikes at the heart of all French citizens, as proclaimed on that dreadful day by President Emmanuel Macron. When comparing the statement of President Macron with the quatrain written by Nostradamus, there are some interesting correlations to be found. Macron's first name is Emmanuel, a biblical Hebrew name meaning God with us, which meaning is referenced in the second line of the quatrain. In his statement, Macron refers to the emotion of the nation, referring to France, whereby the word emotions is written in the fourth line of the quatrain. The contextual comparisons are intriguing, but there may also be signs that coincide with the tragic event in Paris, which has become the shock of the moment. In astrology, there is a minor planet called Charon, which moves out of the constellation Pisces and enters into Aries in the years between 2018 and 2027. During this time period, audacious acts of anger, hatred, and violence will be replaced with a new era of healing and wholeness. This symbol holds the key that will unlock a full spectrum of emotions among nations and peoples. On April 15th, Charon was at the head of Aries, while at this moment the sun was burning orange in Paris as Notre Dame collapsed. The zodiac sign April 15th also points to planet Uranus being at Taurus and the moon at Virgo, thus creating a semi-sextile to Charon, where two planets or other celestial bodies are 60 degrees apart. This is a celestial lineup that happens only once every 80 years, and therefore the sign may be the astrological clue referred to in the Nostradamus quatrain. Coincidentally, the Notre Dame fire broke out during Holy Week and came during a time when the Catholic Church is embroiled in controversy and scandal. No doubt Nostradamus' use of the word emotions is very striking in the context of what took place at Notre Dame. The images of the Notre Dame fire are heartbreaking because the country has played such an important role in the history of Christendom, second only to Rome and the Vatican. When the fire engulfed the cathedral and destroyed the spire, the emotions of the onlookers was very evident. That which is lost cannot be replaced. Nostradamus may have described this very sad moment in his visionary testimonials. As you look out upon the earth, you can see it slowly being transformed into a wilderness. You hear the sounds of thunder, and you feel the uneasiness of the approaching storm. In its destructive nature, it will bring suffering to millions. When you look to the sky, you know that everything will change in its time and for the better. In a moment of tranquility, you understand that cruelty will end and that peace will return once more. Thanks for watching.